is one of his mains now. This is kind of a character that benefits from Wi-Fi, it seems like.
I can
But
certainly see that. I mean,
I am
playing...
definitely excited to commentate Deltaforce.
That's one thing you could be excited about with him. To carry on with your point about Snake before, I mean, and this is just the point of pretty much everything that's been happening in terms of Smash, Wi-Fi being the different game that it is, I can definitely see Snake being a character that would, you know, low-key be better on this platform. For the sole fact alone that, you know, when you're even offline, you have to play his neutral in general. You're a masher, if you're like that kind of brawler-type character, you like to press buttons and use faces, his grenades are just going to blow up in your face, like you'll walk over a C4 that you're not ready for, his up tilt will beat you out from too far away, and on Wi-Fi, where your inputs, depending on your connection, can be a little bit shoddy, that's where things can start to get even worse. So I gotta agree with you there, Luke. I think Snake might be a character that can be better on Wi-Fi, but in terms of better on Wi-Fi, there's also Link. So I'm anxious to see what happens.
Yeah, Link is a character, like, I always say that, like, I don't really find myself affected by Wi-Fi that much, and then people point out to me that I play Link. Of course it's not gonna affect me that much.
I was gonna, dude, even before you told me you played that, I almost interjected for a second. I didn't. I have manners is that, oh, there, takes the stock. Wi-Fi affects us all, my guy.
Yes, definitely.
First stock going to Deltaforce.
Good stuff to Deltaforce. Alright, gonna... Deltaforce just trying to put on a little bit of pressure with the nairs. And now we gotta avoid the Nikita, but not going to.
Yeah, off stage right there against Nikita. It doesn't matter online, offline. That is something that is going to spell disaster, especially... you got Ness as your profile picture. I mean, he is playing a character that basically has PK Thunder, essentially a better version of it, though. But he gets caught on the platform, no tech right there. No tech right there, he's going to eat that back air for free, adding on to that damage, and then neutral is reset once again. And the neutral is going to be so interesting, man. It's just another food fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like these guys, like, definitely heard my conversation about Picto Chat before, but they're hashing it out with food instead, you know? Both these characters, they're not really... You can't really call both of them zoners. I mean, Snake is more of a set play character, and Link can be played like a brawler, especially like with how good like his neutral air and his, you know, his general power is, to say the least. It's oh, caught him slipping on his shirt right there with the up
like, from so far away.
Yeah, that
move always surprises me. Deltaforce trying to get this. Oh, he breaks the cipher, but does not get the spike. The armor coming in clutch there. Ray Parry does not get the second hit of the forward tilt though.
You guys trying to drop the mixtape right now, ending the cipher is Deltaforce. I don't want to listen to your SoundCloud, Aryeh. Not about that.
This neutral, like you were saying earlier, like it's definitely very interesting, especially on Wi-Fi, because you got to be very precise when you're avoiding all the projectiles that are coming at you from both of these characters, and on Wi-Fi it's a little bit harder to react to. You got to deal with a little more input lag. So yeah, both these players got to be very careful.
For sure, man. I mean, you got to deal with input lag, and then you got to deal with the tilt that comes from input lag, and there aren't very many people who don't get tilted when, you know, they're dealing with that kind of stuff. Let's be real. I mean, there are Wi-Fi warriors who are much more used to it, but, you know, not everybody is a Wi-Fi warrior in that regard, and the bomb toss-up off the level is going to do it. First game going to Deltaforce. He, despite any, you know, Wi-Fi shenanigans, you didn't really see too much of that necessarily being exploited. It's like...
Yeah, no, really.
Yeah, he was just, when he was the one who was up a stock, he played like he was an advantage. He hung back, he threw his boomerangs, he chucked his bows out there, recognized, I'm not the one who needs to approach right here. That is on Aryeh's job to do that. And Snake, just, he's a very handsome looking dude, but despite that, he's, you know, not always the best at approaching. You know, funny enough, his looks aren't gonna really carry him in that regard. When it comes to approaching, it can be a little rough if you're the one who's down. Like I said earlier, Snake is a set play character. He likes to force you to play his game. He likes to force you to play his neutral, basically, because then if you don't, it's just going to become that much harder for you to really deal with. And when Snake is the one who's down, that's where things start to get a little rougher. His advantage state is as good as his disadvantage state is bad. And that is what I liked to see from Deltaforce right there. He was exploiting that. He hung back, was even though he has a move like Link's neutral air, which stuffs out almost every single move in this game, by the way, including Palutena's neutral air, if I'm not mistaken. He never pressed any buttons when he didn't have to. He hung back, recognized this is where Snake is bad. I'm gonna make him play bad.
Yeah, like that definitely did not look like a Wi-Fi match. Like you know, like people say, the only way you're really gonna get better on Wi-Fi is if you don't play it as if it's Wi-Fi. You treat it like you were playing online or offline, and that's exactly what it seems like these players are trying to do right now.
That's a really interesting point right there. If anything, I figured it would be the opposite, because I feel like Wi-Fi in general just has a totally different meta. I mean, both these guys are playing characters that would arguably be very strong on Wi-Fi. Like you said earlier, actually, Luke, you know, just dealing, you know, with both of these characters and the obstacle forces neutral that they create. Nick's like, oh, I'm going to put a C4 here, I'm going to put a grenade here, and then Link's like, I'll put my boomerang here, but the bomb is there, you have to be careful with that. They create situations where you have to play around, and when your inputs aren't really what they should be in a manner that's not, you know, even necessarily your fault, if anything, I would think that's actually a lot harder. But like you said earlier, it's not really like Wi-Fi at its best point right here, because it's not one zoner against like a brawler type character. These are two characters that love to throw things at each other, so you're basically seeing like two Wi-Fi type characters clash with one another, rather than, you know, just one Wi-Fi character dealing with one who isn't, you know, so good on that platform. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, it sort of creates a formula where it doesn't seem like as much of a Wi-Fi match. That was so smart by Deltaforce, by the way. When
that is such a good
bomb. Yeah.
I don't see that too often from Link players, but it's really good, especially against Snake, where Snake is gonna want to like recover high a lot of the time, try and avoid getting sharked on the landing. You could just like catapult that bomb up there, and he can't do much to avoid it.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, this character, go back to 2006, because he becomes to be the pinata when he's up in the air. He's just like, he's asking to get hit. You gotta oblige him. You know what I mean? And that is exactly what Deltaforce did right there, just tossing that bomb up in the air. He doesn't even have to chase Snake in that regard physically. He's got, like, you know, items for that. He's got the bomb, which he can toss up and he can detonate when he chooses to. And unfortunately, not choosing to detonate it right there while he was off of the level, not being able to secure his way back. And that is Deltaforce's first stock of the second game, going down against Aryeh.
Yeah, Deltaforce still with a pretty good lead right now. Keeping it up. Aryeh just trying to set up his grenades, keep Deltaforce kind of trapped on the platform.
Yeah, he's kind of staying low, which is actually a really good place to be. Starting to see Deltaforce go on these platforms a little more, trying to retain like a little bit more of an air control, which is not always the wisest thing, because being in the air in Smash is in general never really a good thing. But I mean, that's what happens when you have like two sort of like set play characters going up against each other right here. But I mean, if there's anything I learned from playing Izzot SmashCon last year, is that Link, he's not necessarily a zoner type character. He's more of a jack of all trades, because this character can mash in your face if you let him, if he's not careful, especially with that neutral air, which, like I said, just out prioritizes so many moves in this entire game. And when it comes to these trades, man, you know, like with the way that Deltaforce is playing, he's the one who winds up at the end of the day. He's the one who's just jumping around all of these C4s, you know, staying away from them when he has to, and then just essentially playing that Snake game a little bit better than Aryeh is right now. The only thing I'm seeing from Deltaforce flubbing a little bit is when he's off the level. He's not doing the best job at avoiding these Nikitas, but I mean, that's a hard move to pretty much avoid off stage regardless, especially if your recovery just through your up B is a little bit linear, which Link's can be argued to be. But despite me saying all of that, he's at like almost 90 already. Deltaforce just relentless right now.
Yeah, geez. Oh, again, the Nikita coming in, just as you say that. Oh, I like that setup a lot. Bouncing the bomb, timing it with the boomerang for added pressure.
That's so hot, man. Just able to create like that sort of item sandwich, basically. Let Link mains just wake up in the morning and hope they get to hit somebody with.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, the parry.
Coming from a mile away. That
Yeah.
was hot.
you always kind of, I mean, me as a Link main, I always kind of know when when the perfect opportunity strikes for that up B, and that was just that. So yeah, good stuff to Deltaforce, taking it 2-0 over Aryeh.